So after losing on national television to the 1-3 Boston Celtics, I have to admit it. The Cavs still have the exact same problems, and their biggest weakness is still very much relevant this season. And until they solve the problem, let's face it, we are looking at a team that is going to be an early exit in the playoffs yet again. Over the last 2 years, there were many times where I personally advocated for trading away Darius Garland or Jarrett Allen when they were at peak value to get an absolute haul in return, because I knew they were soft and they were not the type of players championship teams are built around. But I got absolutely blasted in the comments for even throwing their names in any trade rumors at all. But here we are, it's now year 4 or 5 of this rebuild, and Jarrett Allen still can't get a rebound over a small forward. Garland has never been on the court. The Cavs are losing to a jayson tatumless Celtics by 20 points. Something has to change. And I know it's early, and I am by no means in panic mode as a diehard Cavs fan myself, but something has got to give. So in this video, I want to give you guys 5 big trades that Koby Altman could and should consider making as we approach the trade deadline in a few months to try to fix some of these issues. Now obviously I know with the second apron and the salary cap situation, it's nearly impossible for the Cavs to make a trade, and they don't have a lot of options, but there are still some. But before I get into them, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so let's start out with the actual problem so we know what the Cavs need to be looking for. The problem is the lack of toughness out of some of the core guys, an unwillingness to box out and rebound. Garland is too small and weak to be an impact player during the physicality of the playoffs. This is a team that could be dominant inside with the size that they have, but they consistently settle for bad outside looks. Outside of Mitchell and Merrill so far this season, everyone has been inconsistent. So I want an aggressive big man, someone who doesn't back down from other bigs, someone who isn't afraid to get dirty and bloody, even if they aren't as talented. I want a dog in the front court, and Jarrett Allen is obviously not that. So the first player I want to take a look at is Nikola Vucevic. And I know right off the bat that idea alone might draw some bad comments, because that's very little trade value in return for Allen, at least you would think. But look, Jarrett Allen has no value anymore. Everyone knows he's soft. The whole league has seen him disappear and crumble in big games. They've seen the comment about the lights being too bright. He can't shoot and space the floor. He occasionally has good games, but that's about it. So that's where a trade for Vucevic from the Bulls makes a lot of sense. The Bulls obviously right now would not trade him because they are off to such a hot start this season, but it won't last. Things are going to even out. I do think the Bulls are underrated, but they are more of a play-in team. Maybe they can get that 6th seed, but by the time the deadline arrives, they may be looking to move on from Vucevic to get some value in return. He's 35 years old, definitely on the back end of his career, but he is a double-double guy. I actually think the Cavs would maybe have to give up more than just Allen to get him. He can space the floor, he can go to the rack, he actually boxes out and tries to play defense. Last season, the Bulls reportedly explored moving Vucevic previously, and they may revisit those talks if the Cavs are willing to send Jarrett Allen and potentially draft compensation, as I mentioned. Vucevic isn't a dominant rebounder, but he's definitely a willing one, and he is a proven starter who can provide more offensive versatility and still help on the glass. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Vucevic. The next trade candidate that I want to explore is Jonas Valančiūnas. He was recently traded from the Kings over to the Denver Nuggets, but Denver already has Nikola Jokic, and they could be open to flipping him for the right offer if things don't click early on. Valančiūnas is a guy that brings rebounding, size, and most definitely toughness, although maneuvering a quick flip may be complex so soon after his move. The next player is definitely an interesting one. I think this could get the comments going, and that is Jonathan Kuminga from the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, it was a pretty tough offseason for him in trying to get himself a contract. I know he felt disrespected, and even though Golden State now has him long term, that doesn't mean it's permanent. They still could move him if things aren't completely clicking by mid-season. I think Kuminga is exactly the type of player the Cavs could use right now, because it would give them a second DeAndre Hunter, but one that can explode to the basket. Kuminga is known for his explosive athleticism and 6'7" frame. He uses his strength and leaping ability to finish above the rim. He can attack closeouts and defend multiple frontcourt positions. Offensively, he plays mostly as a slashing forward. He thrives in transition and loves to attack mismatches. His offensive game is now more within the flow of the Warriors offense, with improved shot selection and three-point shooting early this season. He's been praised for significant improvement in his basketball IQ, learning to let the game come to him rather than forcing plays, and playing with much better discipline on both ends. He still is developing as a playmaker, but the assist numbers have risen to about 4 per game, thanks to more willingness to make the simple reads. And for the Warriors, why this trade makes sense is that they already have so much shooting with Steph, and they might want to actually have more of a traditional center come playoff time. And with the lob game, Allen might actually fit the play style of the Warriors more than he does the Cavs. And having Post as a bench piece might sound enticing to them, so an Allen for Kuminga trade is one that I think could get spicy toward the deadline. Alrighty, now for the fourth option, I have RJ Barrett from the Toronto Raptors. This would probably take Garland to pull off, and it would be weird seeing two guys drafted right around each other get swapped, but the Raptors definitely could use a Garland to facilitate their offense, and the Cavs could use a Barrett. Barrett this season is averaging just over 20 points, albeit it's only been 5 games, but why I think he fits in Cleveland is the size and the defense. He's fresh off a 25-point game. Again, this would be one of those tougher ones to pull off, but come the deadline, it's definitely at least an idea that could be speculated. And without further ado, now I want to get to the fifth and final candidate for this video, and that is bringing Lauri Markkanen back to the land. This is probably the least likely of the 5 listed because he seems to have found his home in Utah. He's really turning into a superstar. But at the end of the day, the Jazz are horrendous, so who knows what they will be trying to do at the deadline. Lauri just had a 50 bomb the other day. The Cavs are of course super familiar with him and his game. He's not the best interior player, but he's 7 feet tall. He provides spacing, which is Jarrett Allen's main problem. Again, I know it's early and this is not like a full-blown panic video. A trade doesn't have to be made, but that loss against the Celtics was more than frustrating. It really made me realize that this current team is still an early playoff exit. They are soft, they allow long rebounds. Something has got to change, and I mean with the personnel. So let me know in the comments if there was any names I mentioned you would like to see in a wine and gold uniform come this winter. Let me know if there was any player you want that I didn't mention, and also what you thought about the loss against the Celtics, because I just don't have it in me to talk about the game. It was a pitiful performance on all levels. It's just beyond frustrating. That's all I got for this video though. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't yet, because your support truly means the world. And let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.